Look, I'm here to share. We had a bit of pivoting. It's that kind of world at the moment. We have to pivot in response. We had so many people joining the Zoom link, it just wouldn't let me get in. So we're pivoting to Instagram Live instead and harnessing the power of social media. So thank you. Let's just take a moment to really connect. I want to share a mother comfort blessing with you. And when Spirit gave guidance to do this, I was intrigued by the wording that it was called Mother Comfort. And I thought there is this sense that we really need this energy at this time on the planet. There's so much that's in fluctuation. I can feel that as a collective, especially the people that are really wanting to do that inner work and become increasingly conscious in body and increasingly open and radiant in soul, are struggling at times to know what to do with all of the energy that's flowing, with sometimes the divisiveness that arises when you just have a clash of different viewpoints around what should be happening in different spheres of the world. And certainly that sense with terrible things, war, with aggression, with a feeling sometimes that we might be sliding backwards as a species. We're not, but it can feel like we are. And just knowing what to do with all of that. And of course, you'll know from your own personal experience on the healing path that when you're doing deep work, stuff surfaces. So the same thing applies for the collective. When the collective is going through healing, and I really feel that as a race, the human race, our human family, our human collective, is going through a spiritual birthing initiation, a birthing process, and a deep healing at the moment. And so stuff is surfacing. And again, similar to what happens in our personal path, sometimes we embrace the journey and we, work on our issues, and at other times we either don't know or we just want to avoid it. It's very human to have that response. And it's not until something in the physical world kind of pushes us, or an experience in our life really grabs our attention. Maybe there's a pain or a struggle that arises, and we realize the universe is trying to get me to work with something. There's a pain here, I need to give it attention, and I need to do the work around resolving it and figure out what it is that's trying to break through. Where is that healing journey trying to take me? The same thing is happening for the entire collective on the planet. There is pain, and we can get almost negatively mesmerized by that pain and then feel helpless and not know what to do about it, or feel angry and feel that if only we could make everyone see things the way that we might see it, then it would be better. But that buys into this oppression culture that is not helpful and not ultimately going to help us heal or awaken. So we have to kind of have this sense of, okay, how can we be constructive? How can we show up without getting caught in the pain that's happening around us? How can we have compassion and respond creatively, but at the same time keep our sanity and our serenity? So part of that is really about having this deeper sense of understanding and this support. And I think that's what the blessing really is about today, that offering of that comfort and that reminder that all that we need to bring through into the collective, and all that we have within us that is meant to be part of the solution, is there, and we have access to it. And sometimes it's just this simple kind of, like I said in the beginning, pivot, the reorientation. It's just taking that sacred receiving dish of the soul, and instead of having it kind of looking out at all of the the pain and the suffering and the struggles, having compassion, knowing that that's there, and just flipping that receiving dish so it starts to focus more on the heart. And then you can have awareness of that pain and that struggle and that wounding and the deep need that we sense for all beings that are suffering and want that love and support and protection from us, from those of us that want to give that compassion. But in reorienting the soul towards the heart, we're actually tuning into the energies that strengthen us and allow us to do what we need to do. And it's invitational. It's not about trying to compel anything from anyone. It's just about embodiment and giving and sharing. So today, in this healing blessing, this mother comfort blessing, that's what I want to give to you. I want us to hold the space together, and I have in the spiritual ethers and in the world my beautiful team that's with me. So we have our spiritual team, we have our team of humans, so Rena, Laura and Joe, holding space in different parts of the world with me. You can imagine through this process that the four of us are kind of surrounding you in a beautiful diamond shape, one of each of us sitting at each of the four directions, and then we have earth beneath, spirit flowing, and we have this space together which we hold. And I'll invite you to take this journey with me. And this process is really an offering for our own healing, and it's also an offering for the planet, because these things, the collective and the individual, are not separate. So if we remember that each of us is a puzzle piece, and there's a beautiful greater vision of the divine puzzle, that we're each bringing our own little piece that's all kind of shaped a bit differently and has the different image on the piece. We don't have to be the same, and yet we're all meant to be united. We're all meant to connect. We all bring together our own beautiful uniqueness, and that is what allows the puzzle to happen. So it's not about asking anyone to be like you or like me or anything like that. It's about the freedom of allowing each being to discover their authenticity, to be in the truth of their nature, and to recognize that somehow we are all divinely designed to fit together in the right kind of way to allow for that greater vision. So just remember that when you're working on your own journey, when you're working on who you are and what your truth is, you're making a beautiful contribution towards the collective, because we are all connected at that deep level. So let's keep that in mind, and let's begin focusing on the heart and the breath. When the energy becomes strong, there can be a tendency for things to rise like heat. So we want to bring it down. We want to steady and we want to settle. So let's start with the breath, inhaling. And when you're ready, beginning to exhale and just steady yourself. And I'd like us to begin by allowing our attention, our focus, to begin to shift inside. So we can be aware of what's going on around us, and at the same time allow that deeper attention, that deeper underlying focus to begin to shift, to move within, and to begin to drop down. If you've been spending your days breathing up at the top of your lungs, imagine there's a beautiful steady weight that allows a gentle gravity that allows for your attention to begin to drop down into the heart. And as you exhale in your own time, dropping down from the heart towards the belly. And what you might like to do is imagine that your beautiful sacrum, beautiful bones in your pelvis, are like a cradle. And if you're sitting or laying down, or even if you're standing, feeling how that beautiful cradle of the pelvis and the legs, the weight of your lower body, can be held on the earth. So feeling that sense of earth energy and body energy beginning to connect more consciously. So you can breathe in and breathe out. If you like, you can also imagine that the pelvic bones very subtly move, like they're being gently rocked, as though the Earth Mother, as she breathes, as she releases her rhythm, which is slow and steady and consistent. She supports that energy of the pelvis, allowing you to feel all of that moving mental fluctuation, all of that stuff beginning to settle and ground. This brings you back to a position of presence and strength. And in that place of presence and strength, you can be aware of me and my team sitting around the sacred circle that we're forming together as a community. And that grounding becomes even deeper and more steady. And then having a sense, if you like, that myself and the 3 team members that are with me are all holding like a tent peg. And through our own bodies, our own souls, we're helping to hold and earth that tent peg, creating a beautiful cloak around us, a beautiful sense of holding and containment. And if you feel you want to join in that process, you too can become one of those beautiful tent pegs through your body, your soul connection to earth, really allowing the roots of your own presence, your own soul, to connect so deeply with the earth energies. And feeling how you are a steadying influence, allowing for that beautiful sacred cloak to create the tent. You are grounding it. And I would really invite you to move that little bit more deeply into that grounding perhaps than you've ever done before. Really feeling that the Earth Mother is not only a physical being, but our spiritual sanctuary, our spiritual mother, and you can connect with her, not only physically through your intention to ground with your awareness in the stabilizing equanimity of nature, but also moving more deeply and connecting with the roots to the earth at a spiritual level, really feeling that. And when you're ready, without losing that grounding connection, allowing your awareness to rise and dwell in the heart space like it is open and radiant. From that sacred heart opening, imagine the back of the heart being able to exhale and release, and the front of the heart being able to exhale and release until the heart feels spacious, feels open. And in that beautiful spaciousness of the heart, there is room to receive, and you are held safe within this sacred tent of our intention, which is to provide comfort and protection, radiance and grace. And then imagining that that entire tent, that structure that you are part of holding and that is holding you, becomes radiant and can emanate light. And into that beautiful open heart space, you can receive that light and that presence. And I just want you to take your time now and listen to the sound and allow that sound and your own visuals to connect you to that light. Imagine that the divine energy of comfort, of mother love and protection helps you release any negativities or fears, any attachments or doubts that you've had. If you've been taking on too much upon your shoulders or feeling overwhelmed, imagine it becoming soft and sliding off your shoulders like rain onto the soil beneath you. Earth Mother has the genius of alchemy, and she knows how to transform. So don't feel that you have to hold on to anything.
Tutare ture mamara puriana potenkurusam. Tutare ture mamara puriana potenkurusam. Tutare ture mamara puriana potenkurusam. Tare tam swa.
Allow yourself to be in that presence of your heart space, the light, that sense of comfort that you are not alone. You can imagine, if you like, that there is a divine hand at the back of your heart. And that divine hand connects all of the nourishing, luminous, spiritual lineages. They might be multifaceted from many lifetimes through the grace of many cultures, and they are true for your soul. Just allowing the love of those sacred lineages to flow into that divine hand at the back of the heart. Really feeling that support, that love, that encouragement, that joy, that confidence in you. Breathing as if the worries of the world can be lightened and lifted for a moment in this space of compassion and peace that is always there. Always with us. Beneath the fluctuations of the world, beneath the fear or doubt or anxiety that can arise during the healing process for all of us at different times, all of our human family and other creatures on beautiful Mother Earth. And we have compassion. And we remember this deep wellspring of goodness and grace within the heart that reminds us we are here. Collectively, we can lift each other. We can lighten the burden and help lighten the hearts of all beings. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Namo Quan Chien Busa. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namo. And just having a sense of that beautiful energy that is in you, that is in your heart and your soul. Having that sense that you are grounded and spiritually radiant and protected. And that beautiful feeling of heart connection unites us in our community, in our circle of grace, which is open and inclusive of all souls on the path, and at the same time steady and protected and held in that divine energy of love and comfort and peace. And even when we walk into situations or circumstances where there is suffering, we stay connected to this well of love in the heart and the soul. And we simply allow that presence, that deep wisdom, that generosity of compassion in our hearts to be gifted into that space. That's it, free from agenda, just gifted into that space. And I'd like you to take a moment now to really think about a prayer, something that is meaningful for you and for your soul at this time. It might be a personal prayer, it might be a prayer for what's happening on the planet, or a combination. And if you feel you would like to, I so welcome you to put those prayers into the comments section, and let's nourish them with our intentions as a community. Let's send those prayers love. Let's allow those prayers to be shared in the world and to manifest for the greater good. And that prayer might be a single word, a colour, a feeling, an image, a symbol, whatever it is. You can also just keep that in your heart and imagine releasing it now into this beautiful collective field of that loving generosity and that grace that we're generating together. but also just recognizing that strength of the voice, your ability to work with your energy and to speak and bring forth the kind of energy, the kind of ideas, the kind of prayers, the kind of manifestations that you want to see increase in our world. It can be easy to focus on the negative. What we can do is affirm what it is that we want to contribute, and it has an effect and it makes a difference, and it brings a spiritual relief that offers something else for those that are looking and searching and at a soul level have been struggling in confusion, in anxiety, in fear, in doubt, and need to find some source of light, some source of goodness and confidence and reassurance and comfort that allows them to latch on to that different idea, that different energy, that different frequency. I believe in us. I believe in what we are capable of accomplishing and contributing to the collective. I believe in humanity, and I believe in the healing that's taking place for us. Let's remember that no matter how deep, no matter how intense things may seem at times, deep wounds require courage, and courage can flourish from a place of peace and trust and compassion within the heart. Just really allowing yourself to ground and to be in this beautiful space, in the here and now together. I'm looking at your beautiful words and comments. Thank you so much. These are beautiful. Steady, settle, breathe, flow, kindness. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for these beautiful words. I'm so touched. Courageous compassion. Embodiment of the mother. Thank you. Beloved, thank you. Connection, strength and wisdom. Beautiful, beautiful. This is what we're bringing into the world together. I want you to really feel now that warmth in your blood and the air on your skin and your body in this space, really being grounded and present without losing connection to that spiritual sanctuary that is within. Let's really be here together now in this moment. And I asked for us to receive a card from the Mother Mary. I had the Mother Mary Pocket edition on my table, and I felt like I wanted to ask for a card for us. And 2 cards fell out of the deck. And the first one, which I just loved when I saw it, so I share that with you. This is the image for it. And it's Our Lady of Comfort, of course, considering the session today. Let me read the little bit of guidance on the back, because I felt like it was for us today to remember this. Even though you may not see me, I am holding your hand. Even though you may not hear me, I am speaking through your heart. I am never far away from you. I am by your side with love, guidance, and protection always. I want you to see the picture while I read this. You are my own. I could not bear to be apart from you. Receive my message of comfort and peace now. All shall be well. And then the other image I wanted to share with you, the other card which came out of the deck, was this beautiful image. This is lovely art by Shiloh Sophia, our beautiful Mother Mary devoted sister. And this card is called Our Lady of Love. So let me read this to you. Pray to Our Lady for the release of hate and fear within yourself and within our world. Such prayer unleashes her beautiful will. Pray, that is your role. Act on what comes to you through the heart in prayer. There is no limit to the love that can flow through you. You will never be depleted by it, only expanded. Actively conspire with her so that all hearts may know peace. And let me just say what prayer is to me, and this might resonate for you. It's whatever it is that allows you to speak to the divine from your heart. So that might be seated practice, it might be meditation, it might be dancing, it might be journaling, it might be taking a walk in nature. This morning, as I was reflecting on what I was going to share today, I had a moment of just this deep stillness, and the love and energy that just poured through was just next level exquisite. I was so moved by it, and I just was looking at the trees in my garden as it was happening and just feeling so filled with gratitude for just being alive and being in a relatively healthy body, in a relatively safe place with relative peace and quiet. I have so much gratitude for those simple yet very meaningful pleasures, and to have that clean drinking water and just to be there in that moment filled me with so much joy, and to know that we were going to be able to connect together and talk to each other from all over the world. It's just incredible to me. So there are challenges in the world at this time, there's no doubt about it, but there are so many tools and ways that we can work together, more so than at any other time in human history. Now that's something to consider, something amazing. And I think that those of us that have hope in our hearts will find ways to be creative and responsive, and a little bit, like in a good way, rebellious around how we work with the systems that are in place in our society, so that we can continue our work together of healing and awakening and learning how to find that joy and shine it for others to feel when they've lost connection with their own sense of spirit. We can hold the space for that reconnection to happen. It's just, as always, been a joy to be here with you. I know that I'm not on lives every week or anything, but I want you to know you are in my heart. Like, I do think of you all, and I do feel for what's happening on the planet, and I'm very consciously selective about what I share on social media and what I comment on. And that's not because I'm not aware of other things that are happening. It's just because I want us to really have a safe and sacred space where we can share together and not be engaged in divisive rhetoric. There's lots of other platforms where you can talk about all sorts of things, and that's fine. Everything has a place, but we need to have the sanctuary, and we need to have that space where the soul can just breathe and not be bombarded by things, and instead go deep to replenish and then take the journey. And that's what I want to create for us, and what I'm so grateful to be able to share with you. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you for your beautiful comments and your beautiful energies. So much love from my heart to yours. Keep shining, stay on your path, and I really look forward to when we connect again soon. If you have any questions about the session today, or if you want to join any of our community programs or courses, just reach out on the website. There's a sign up for a newsletter and email contacts and all that kind of thing, so you can get in touch with me and the team. But either way, sending you lots of love. Take care, dear ones. Namaste.